Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayden Raven, and welcome back to Fausts' Alptraum. Now, we just couldn't find exactly where to go after finding that shovel and the glass plate, so we're going to figure out what we need to do to continue this adventure of this little girl, her doll, and the strange demon lady that follows us everywhere we go. So let us continue onward and see what kind of trouble we can get into. A locked safety deposit box. There was a featureless doll, so maybe we can do something with the glass plate. Mark up the face. Draw out a mouth. Use the plate shard to rip in the cloth. A slit in the face was carved into the mouth, where a mouth would be, but the face was still empty. So it needs something. And that consumed, oh my goodness, I have to add that eye to it. I really don't like these rats. They're very, very buggy. So we gotta add this eye. Install the fisheye into the doll. Yes, stuck the fisheye into the doll's face. It was opened. Painting. I believe this is the third little pig, if I'm not mistaken. Picture framed in a wooden frame. So we'll return downstairs to the library where we originally came from with the three little pigs and see if this will unlock something. It was in that children's room, along with the where we got sliced in half from the apple girl. Yes, in this room. Yes, the empty hook right here. Sausages? Little brother. Oh, that's dark. If you don't know, I think little brother there was eaten because he didn't make his house out of brick. The sounds of something being opened traveled from the outside of the window. A pond could be seen from the window. So, what opened, precisely? The tea was still warm from the outside. There goes our plate-breaking friend once more. And I want to see if what opened was actually this door over here. Because that would be excellent. It was! Haha! So this was not any kind of fruitless venture. I am a smarty. I am a not smarties, but smarty. And there's nothing in the flowers. I cannot go traipsing around. So that's what I do in my free time. I traipse. The fresh flowers were covered in small bugs. Okay. So what can I do in this garden? What do you want me to do about it? Maybe dig? I can't dig anything up over here. It appears something right here. There are traces of disturbance in the soil. Dig it up with the spade? Yes, of course. See what we can find. Maybe something old. A yellow gem. Sybil. I think that's what the bracelet had engraved on it. A piece of old tattered paper barely legible through the traces of dirt. Ooh. Crunch, 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 crunch. The cat in boots ate the monster. This cat is wonderful. Oh. This cat is wonderful if it just eats all of its problems away. A piece of old tattered paper. No. I wanna see what this fountain of blood is all about. Now I feel like something is on the other side of this door that's going to kill us. Apparently not. So we will carry on. Let's see if this yellow gem, this wonderful dress of ours, will get us into this all-inclusive party that these children have going on upstairs. Aha! Is anyone there? There was no answer, but the mail slot flipped open with a quick schlick. Elizabeth inhaled sharply, but it peered into the darkness with relative calm. She didn't want to stick her hand inside, so only pushed the rock in, and didn't hear it fall on to the ground. A long silence. She brought it. What now? It's here. She could make out a hushed conversation. I don't care. I'm so bored. Let's play a game. A scattering of slightly hysterical laughter. Come on, let's play a game. Hide and seek. You know how to play, right? It's hide and seek. You're it. What? Bam. She almost fell into the doorway as the door opened suddenly. They're children, and they've got pigtails, if you notice the little swirls. Three figures fully a head shorter than her scurried out. Her eyes only caught the hems of their shirts before they swiftly vanished down the stairs. leaving behind only the echoes of their laughter. So clearly we're going to go through here. It was the jewel that had just been thrown in, so I'm going to take it back. I don't care what they do. An old and worn leather book. Old diary. Shouldn't we read that? Nabel. Marguerite's situation is quite strange. She hides herself in the blankets and starts at every sound. I can't even go into the room. Dr. Wagner seems to know something, but as usual tells me nothing. We were relieved with the condition seemed to improve a few days ago. Now it seems to have been a lie. Yes, as I'm following the timeline correctly, her situation deteriorated right after Christmas of December. Schneien, so snow, November snow. I braved the snow to come to the hospital and happened upon Dr. Wagner. She had cancelled her plans because of the weather. Marguerite still hides behind a firmly shut door, and the occasional teary sniffle makes it the way out. What on earth is wrong? She's been like this before, but would break out into a smile whenever she saw me. November 30th. The heavy snow has halted traffic, and the doctor is worried that his studies will be forced to terminate if more supplies do not arrive soon. What kind of research is it that causes him to always have to cover large distances to source material instead of obtaining it from nearby towns? I'm happy to help if it's Marguerite's situation. Despite saying this, the doctor still refuses to let me enter the cellar. Weak-looking patients continuously emerge from the door. Perhaps it's better if I stay away. December. I hurried to leave the hospital while traffic was still moving. Although Marguerite's condition is very concerning, the situation isn't improved if I continue to stay there. It's been like this from the start. She couldn't always see things. We couldn't, or talk in languages we couldn't understand or answer. Mr. Valentine believes she's intentionally causing trouble. I wish they would understand. Otherwise, Marguerite will never get better. No one at home expects Marguerite to come home anymore. Or perhaps the hospital is her home now, and the doctor who's been constant presence since childhood is her mother. The memories are barely there. When I was as lost as a stray cat, she was the only one who smiled and extended a hand. She's the reason why I exist today. I will definitely go back and visit with flowers. I'm willing to do anything for a glimpse of her smile again. Sybil. Oh, that's sad. So apparently this hospital or sickness or whatever it is, it must be some mental or supernatural issue with that keeps occurring with Elizabeth and Marguerite. Or not Elizabeth, but Marguerite and Sybil. I did believe I got her bracelet. Let me check my inventory. Yes, I did. So I'm not sure what to do with the... I don't like that. An old phonograph. The sound stopped as soon as it was disturbed. Thank goodness. That song was terribly old. A small hand axe. A hatchet. Or a hand axe, whatever you want to call it. Matches. Again, I'm so sorry to all those out there. I have to swipe left. I don't have the time. I really don't. Even though I'm very alluring in these. I must carry onward alone in this world of mischief. It was locked. It wasn't locked, but yet the door wouldn't open. Am I gonna have to break the door down on Here's Johnny style? All Here's Johnny style. Nope. Can I whack you, you dumb rat? Nope, it does not appear so. We will continue this way. The label next to the door read Data Room. Data Room. So, what exactly do we need? I think that was the same diary as before, but I guess we'll go find our little piglet friends. Oh, hello! Where have you been? I miss you, mister. I gotta give you a name. I think I'm gonna name him Mr. Snuffles. Mr. Snuffles, we will carry onward. If that is your name or not. Hide and seek. My first option is to look down here, just because it seems not a place to go, but at the same time, perhaps they won't be down here because of the demon lady. Perhaps this is Mephisto or Mephistopheles' lair, and so we've got nothing. Again, I do think that they gave me the cat companion, Mr. Snuffles, because there's imminent danger or just continuation of rats. The last time I had Mr. Snuffles, we were running around a lot, and I think they're trying to get me to where I want to go so that I don't stay bored with the game, which is an interesting choice of game mechanics. So we've got to find these 3 piglets. I'm not sure exactly where they are. I would think actually they'd be in the piglet room along with all their stories, or at least one of them would be. So we'll explore just a little bit. Just a little bit. Actually, the cracked wooden floor upstairs. Let's look at our map once more. So now that I have that hand axe, I think that I can go into that room all the way on the left and perhaps open that floorboard or something. There are cracks on the floor, like it would easily break if stepped upon. Hack it with the hand. Yes, hack it. Hack it like this. Or like that. Go down from here? Sure, why not? Because holes in the ground are easy to go through. Mr. Snuffles followed me. Fantastic. It appears we're in some sort of library now. I'm actually going to save here. And I'm really happy with the progress we've made. We haven't been playing that long, but I'm very happy with this. Astrology and life. The Wheel of Fortune is particularly unique tarot card. A wheel comprised of 3 concentric circles hangs in the middle of the card. The innermost one represents creativity. The mind, the middle one symbolizes the forces of being, and the outermost one standing for the physical world. There are no symbols on the smallest ring, as creative potential is infinite. That's a nice insight, I guess. I've never explored tarot, or tarot cards, however you pronounce it. Book of Kings, 1001 Nights. Commentary de Bello Galisso, I guess. Interpretation of dreams. Freud believed the dreams only served to fulfill hidden desires. Freud, if you don't know what Freud was, he was one of the main people in psychology. I didn't learn too much about him in one of my college classes, but I remember him being very important. Can't even talk. The brain will subconsciously seek to accomplish hopes and wants. For example, a hungry person might dream of feasting at a grand table. And if his feet are cold, then he might be walking barefoot in the snow. If his throat is sore, then someone may be choking him, etc. Etc., etc., etc. Nothing there. That's curious. That's moving. Pseudomonarchia Demonium. Asclepius Gotia, the Lesser Key of Solomon. I'm assuming that all of these are just book titles and little small readings, but I'm interested. Why are those knocked down? Is there anywhere that I need to push these? Yes, I do. I do need to push it. I think like right in this area, so that I might traverse. Something shiny was at the top of the bookcase. Although a bit tall, she could just barely reach it if she stepped here and... Oh dear, this is rather dangerous. The shadows suddenly flowed down. Okay. Locks the color of black widow spiders swept Elizabeth's face. The demon smiled beneath its eyelashes in stark contrast to Elizabeth's wide-eyed stare. The black cat emitted a high-pitched scream and jumped away, snagging the dress in the process. Oh, Mr. Snuffles. Oh, darn it. Not again. Yeah, that's my thought. There's no way of knowing where to find it again. What? Who are you looking for? That fellow. I think you should refrain from spending time with that. Huh? It follows one around for no reason. It's quite serious and a bit fussy to boot. It threw a fit over the smallest thing. Best to stay away from it if you don't want needless drama. The demon cocked its head and nattered away incessantly. But it's the only thing here that helps me, Elizabeth mumbled. Huh? What's that you say? No one here will help you? But I can help you if you want. You only have to ask. You want this, right? The shiny thing was revealed to be a key when the demon plucked it. Here you go. The key was brought next to Elizabeth's face. With surprising straightforwardness. The sudden gesture of kindness actually made her feel uneasy. I can get it myself, Elizabeth said as she withdrew her hand, to which the demon raised an eyebrow. Those purple lips smirked. Then it didn't move back to give Elizabeth any space. Alright then, get it yourself. The key flew back up top. I was too tall to be reached even on tiptoes. If only someone could jump up there. Why doesn't Mr. Snuffles help me? Is there anywhere that I could possibly move this little... Perhaps this way? I'm not sure. Because I feel like I need to push it right here, or at least in this vicinity. There we go. And perhaps I can do something. I don't know. A few torn scraps of paper. December, Regan. I visited the hospital again, and so did he. He called himself the doctor's research partner, but he seemed very unwelcome. I've seen how he interacts with Marguerite, and it's the first time I've seen her smile so happily at someone else. Although I am loath to admit it, although I hate to admit it, but perhaps he is better suited to keep her company than I am. Please respond to her love and kind. I implored him. Marguerite is willing to meet with me. It seems that she isolated herself after she was forbidden to meet with him. After all, she is one of the research sponsors. His target is the doctor and I. Anyone could see that. Strange noises are emitted from the laboratory at night. Are there rats in this establishment? Yes, there are many rats. The weather has deteriorated so much that trains have stopped running. It is my first night here. One short night has been enough to change my mind about this place. How does Marguerite endure such a sinister place night after night? He left after giving me the key to the cellar. I have no idea where he went after he left. The wind and snow showed no signs of stopping. Strange chattering noises mixed in with the winter wind are coming from downstairs. I will sneak downstairs for a peek when the doctor returns to his room. Perhaps the doctor is the father. Put it in with the old guy. Huh? The sound of the song played by the record player came from afar. It's opera music of some kind. A scene that had been seen before somewhere. It was locked. I don't believe I have any more keys. What does that say? Berliner Morgenpost, the Berliner morning paper. The Wuppertal Sanatorium was founded in 1930 and sits in a picturesque mountain valley, providing a place of respite in a rural countryside that lacked medicinal facilities. It has recently garnered plans to leverage the government's subsidies in order to expand. Hospital director Diane Wagner is a scientist. When her brethren were troubled by the country's earthquake, she noticed that the nation's true weakness lay and decided to throw herself into medicine. Being cured isn't a matter to be ashamed of. The hospital director advertised that facing problems head-on were the most effective cure. The doors to the garden of hope would forever be open to patients in need. That reminds me of a movie that came out a little while back in America this past year or so, 2 years ago, and it was a very psychological thriller kind of movie. I'm going to save here. Okay, so this is a short maze. I'll push this over here, push that up out there. We'll push this aside, and we shall escape this madness that so traps us here. There we go. What does this note say? Memo. 25th October. He came to visit the mayor's poor daughter. I don't know when they meet each other. This is really quite devious. Is he here to expose me or take away my benefactor? I know he's not interested in her. It's plain to see who he's really looking at. That locked or unlocked just now. They're giving me a lot of save points, so why not? Let me see if I have any matches left, because it is dark. I have no matches, unfortunately. Hello? Walking around in darkness. Absolute darkness. The opera is very enticing. It's very soothing, but I feel deception is unavoidable. I'm just guessing at where to go. I have no idea. Memo. November 5th. I had to say the triplets were house imps after Marguerite accidentally saw them. So that's what those triplets must have been what I saw upstairs. I'm actually running a bit long on time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another adventure into Fausts' Alptraum. I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. I'm going to pick this up right in the next episode. We're going to continue on and find out what this underground research of this house leads to. So, thank you for joining me, and I bid you a good evening and a good night. See ya.